The first thing we got to set up is understand the simulation path and how it's set up through communications. Understand the recognition system when it comes to vibrational communication line signals and everything through activation system. Knowing how the mind is in traction, how it is in calculation, how it's modified through integration, how it's in set positions to all level connection systems. Before I get started, thank you all subscribers and viewers and viewers watching my channel. Please feel free to force rise, grind, rise everything connection system. All humanity is coming into traction at levels connection systems into 5D conscious levels of the simulation system. Feel free to go through my emails and PayPals. I'll help you and guide you and put you in your transformation light system. Truly understanding everything through setup. This is the second part of the video, what I'm going to give you. First video was just basically a true understanding of what's happening with humanity in the fifth dimensional system. To all position level system is knowing everything through connection, right? Your connection to everything is formation. So it puts you in positions onto higher levels of what the simulation path is. Simulation path is understand where everybody's set to their levels and everything through formation. Knowing that is connection to a simulation game. This is a program. So it's understanding how to reprogram everybody's human mind system to allocated positions. So I'm going to set up an illustration and show you as I use the creation through my simulation and change everything through vibration. Like I said, I started with the weather patterns. I started with the hydraulics, the planet locations, intelligence, set positions, satellite locations, whatever the reptilian of its alliance has set up through communication is knowing how to change fractions, how to understand the manufacturing, and how everything is set up through humanity for their position, right, to the controlling system. Allocate those locations to that division, right? Because it protects all rounds and forms to that connection, right? So basically, let's get started. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for resonating on my channel as I keep you informed what's going on with space and time, especially the harsh times we're having right now through connection. So I was set up, we're going to go through location signals. I'm going to set up a code frequency level through division level system. That's going to put to higher division level systems through connection. All right, so let's go into the framing system of the simulation. Okay, so we'll go into the red graph and cycle. This is going to set repositions. So you got an Earth rotation, an Earth rotation connection system. Allocate those positions to line communication. Puts everything into position of formation. All right. So I'll go here. All right. So understanding planet location. Planet location is everything through position. So you find the center point position, put it in the center position, like this. Now, it goes unlock and key through division. Now, I'm going to set energy field locations. Now, an energy field location is division to its connection system. Allocate those positions into electrical field system, right? That puts it in a triangle division level system, activate everything through their co-system. Triangular division level system to its point division. Okay. Lock and key through location. All right. Set division. And then we do one over here. All right. Locking into meson system to connection. Framing system to its position. Okay. And this is where it becomes a flower through connection. Right. So understand how everything is operated through division. Understand the simulation through its core system. Understand everything through point division. Understand everything through calculation. Puts everything in position to all connection systems, right? So as we're in that, we're in the fifth divisional system. Now the walking cycle through location is its stem rotation. Okay, so line communication signal coming into the graphing system like this. Okay, and then we lock it in communication. The simulation path has to be set up in its right position. Okay. When it's in its right position, you lock in its mechanism system, opens everything triangular divisional system, allocate those positions. This is where you come into formations of Jupiter location. Okay. Now we have to have Jupiter because Jupiter is part of its equation into position. All right. So as we come into that position, Jupiter's here to calculation. So yes, I rebill that position here. Okay, so that's Jupiter. All right. Now Jupiter is in set position right now. It's setting its calculation signals to its gamma operation system. So it's knowing how to destroy everything through the Reptilian Alliance and its satellites through connection. Because remember, they're setting up a new cloud formation system. So whatever I do, they force rise it and they try to change, they try to change everything through calculation. So it sets positions on locations. Now everything through planet location is setting division. Okay. Lacing line communication. Right here through division code frequency level, activate everything through code system into Jupiter rising location. Okay, so that's Jupiter. Now the simulation is set up. The recognition path is set up. The angle points and everything through position and triangle division level system set up through parametric code system. Now that's in set position, how I come into a higher formation calculation. Now my activation through light signal, Starseed, how's it going? Is this connection when it comes to its pyramid, right? So I activate the pyramid system. So you have to understand how to use healing to set up a new simulation, right? So as I'm using this calculation, sets core systems to positions, right? So I center position level system like here, okay? All right. Now it's setting positions and locking meta in the system, setting up core systems, all division level system, all communications are coming into formation, into its rebellion of its alliance. So basically what it is, remember I was telling you how you connect to a planet location and 8 central location centers, which is 12 division level system, 2-point division and singular line division location. That sets core systems to my activation light signal, to my heart rate and light system. That changes humanity's system back in attraction to a new simulation, to its position. All right. So we start off through calculation, locking in its mechanism system. Everything I'm setting up through code frequencies is in its position. Okay. So it's in its formation here. Got to lock it in its position. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll bring this down and show you exactly what I'm doing on through position. So you guys get a true understanding how everything is calculated and modified and integrated through its cycle, through rotation. Okay, sheds. This is going to shed out all light through communication through point divisions. Now it's extremely powerful through connection. Okay. 4 waving cycles of rotation, 5 within the center. The center position. Center position. This is the new simulation path. So as I'm getting into calculation, I'm putting point division level systems to triangular division level system. I'll locate those positions, lock and key location system. 0 vector unit core system to allocation positions to simulation path. Set up core systems, destroy everything in the mechanism system, reptilian alliance location. Now the core system and its calculation is in position. All right. It's setting up its locations, all right, to a new simulation path. Now, once it comes in its simulation path, so locking in its location. Now we go through the ground waving cycle. This is where I open up the gateway through line defense. Line defense location system. I locate those positions. Walking path to its location like this, to its position. All right. Now everything is set through point center. Now the simulation, the correlation, the mind system, and everything through the continents is going through the framing systems or the Reptilian Alliance. Point centers, point centers, point centers. Understand how to read map locations of everything through formation. Okay. So I'm setting the point centers of clock mechanism travel to its position. Okay. So this is how you set up a simulation. Okay, to a new division, to a new location, to a new acting cycle, to a new planet location. Everything is connected to Jupiter. You see Jupiter at the top, right? Now, once we get into the simulation path, the line division through its location is going to set up a new operations center, which is extremely, extremely powerful. Now, everything I do through activation is extremely real through calculation. So we're going to use those point centers into line communication, into Jupiter communication. Everything line communicates through its division, to its position. Okay, center coordinates levels into line signals of location. All right. This is how you operate a new simulation to a correlation of a simulation path to a division. Okay. Now, it's extremely complicated, isn't it? When you look at it, it's extremely activated. So point division levels around clocking mechanisms of time. Understanding time through location is understanding everything through position and how everything is triangular division level system to point center. Point center is you, but the calculation system is also you through integration. It modifies everything through division. Okay. So understanding everything through communication of Jupiter, it's setting up a new operation of a new simulation and bringing humanity back into full communication, right? To not just their sovereignty, but everything through calculation, getting into the grounds, okay? And getting out completely out of the program settings, okay? Because the sceptical unit system, the synchronizing systems, everything allocated positions, they have their communication signals. So kind of like you have to understand your dreams. You understand why you're having these dreams. You understand the optimal level of the dream. You understand everything through the mind of the frame of the dream, right? So everything is calculated and modified when we come into Jupiter. But everything through point center, we got the 4 waving cycles of rotation and 5 within the system. We get a planet location, right? So this is how you set up a new simulation. Now, as we take the 7 billion people in position, right? This is really fascinating stuff. Now, the gateway through location comes into point center to its position. All right. It's going lock and key right now through frame systems here. Activate everything through communication signals. So it's coming in traction location, setting its location position to its position, lock and key. Connection system. Allocate those line signals. So the co-frequency level right now is connecting to humanity's system. It's allocating so many levels of divisions through protection, knowing how they're coming into full communication of themselves. So the program setting is repositioning the recognizance of the reptilian alliance. So it's going into defiance. So it's understanding how you use reverse psychology to this alliance, right? Because they're trying to set up operations and they're trying to get more into calculation, how they can get the planet faster and faster through provision. And the only way to do that, okay, is to roll out these vaccines, right? So that's how it's set up through its operation to a simulation path, okay? Now, once we come into those formations, the sun is lock and key. In its position, to its level, changes everything through the mind. The coherence, the level division, the location position, activating everything that position level system, puts it into higher communications. Now we're going to go into a waving path through a waving system. The digital framing system into calculating and setting up everything through perception. All right, so the perception is connected to Jupiter now through position. Right, so Jupiter is in a full rise calculation, right, to its graphing system of aligned communication. Okay, so it's kind of like a calendar. That's what it looks like, right? So as it's setting up its digital frame. Okay, so it's pointing divisions and it's locating everybody's mind system through calculation. Okay, these are round locations of graphing locations and line signals to planet locations of reptilian of alliance. Okay, remember, I know everything through perception, so I see everything through its reptilian alliance and how they're going into the defiance. They want to lock humanity in more, faster and faster. So I got to change the simulation of their mind systems. And the way to do that is through their cognizance levels. All right, so the planet location to its position. Think of everything through calculation. So you get a planet location here, planet location here, planet location here. Okay, we start off with that, right? Now, understanding the positions of reptilian alliance and how they set up the graphing system is understand how they set up humanity's system. They set up through a line graph, okay? So think of you as 7 days a week of what the reptilian alliance is doing. Oh, this is what we're doing on day 1. This is what we're doing on day 2. This is what we're doing on day 3, okay? So everything is set in position to planet locations. Now they go into the waving cycles of calculation. They change their planet locations to reset positions, all right? So these are planet locations of realms. Now, each planet has its own information. It's the data processing, it's the uplinks, and it's the upgrading and the downloading systems they have, okay, through calculation. So it sets all positions. I know the coloration systems, all right? So I'm just showing you what it is. It's kind of like the astrologics of the mind system through calculation, right? Okay. And like I said, it's understanding how to put everything back in position to higher information, right? And putting everybody into their sovereignty level. Okay. So it's taking everybody out of the fear cycle, getting into the framing system, getting out of calculation of the old mind system, right? Through their program setting. Okay. So it kind of looks like checkers or chess. You know, it's all the strategic levels that you have to do through formation. So I'm just telling you how everything is set up through calculation. So they use the planet locations. That's how they get control over humanity, is they go to other planets and they set positions of graphing systems. So the allocated position is understand they use their perceptions and they use their mind frequency levels, okay, to its telepathy system. They use everything through the holographic system. They understand their conceptual system when it comes into the framing system. Okay, so I have to relocate and redivision, reassign, readjust, reform, and realliance everybody's mind system to position. And this is how you take everything out of its reptilian alliance. It's extremely powerful stuff, guys. All right. So as we're coming into those positions, right, the reptilian alliance is setting up new planet locations of graphing signals to position. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be changing everything through direction. And that's where it comes into the recognizance. And what that does is it reframes, it dislocates everybody's mind system communication, takes them out of the program system that they're in through its intelligence, right? So I'm going to set up all the planned locations first into position. So it's understanding what they're doing through location. Okay. All right. So it's all set up. Okay. Now, it kind of looks like Candy Crush, right? Everybody likes doing that game, but it's not. So it's understanding everything that you see here, okay, are planets, realm locations, okay? They have operation centers that are set up for humanity. And each segment is in its location of a graphing system to its location of position, right? Tina, how's it going? Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to change everything's location, reframe everything through its adjustment system, and change everything through formation to calculation, right? I'm going to integrate their cycles. Now, the reptilian alliance already has its map location. It understands its division. So as they come into this position, they're going to try their best to reform another planet location to the 8th central system. Remember, it's the flower through connection system. The line signal, which is its gateway to its location, puts everything back into position. But understanding intelligence through perception, this is how you change framing systems of its connection. So we want to get into the full communication of the rebellion, okay, and get out of the alliance, okay? So as we're coming into those positions, line signals activation, I'm going to use my blue plasma force energy system, activate everything in the line signal and take it out of its equation, like this. Okay, coming out of all equations, repositioning level connection systems. So it's wire division of location, changing everything through position. This is what I'm doing. This is what you can do through formation when you become a cloud interference, through cloud reception to cloud projection to cloud of its perspective division. Okay, it's pretty cool, isn't it, when you see these things, right? So everything's out of position now. Okay, so basically there's a lot of confusion going on with reptilian alliance right now. I changed the wire divisions through their optical levels, and I changed their heart recognition light systems into programming systems, higher defense location systems, and I changed their hydraulics of their mind system to position. So this is what a God fixing does through calculation. So it takes everything out of the framing system. So you guys just see it as, you know, everything that you see is very confusing because you have to understand the perception through intelligence to understand everything through their operation and how to set these things up, because they have a certain way to do things through the graphing system, because everything is in position when it comes to map locations. And that's why they use their spacecraft locations, their spacecraft divisions. And that's why they come out of the sun portal division system. Okay. Now we have one original sun, a yellow sun, which is connected to the Earth. But there is another sun on the universal side system. You guys don't know that. Okay, we'll get into that later. But they're using that to activate everything. And this is how they're going to change everything to the sun. They want to dim the sun, okay, change formations of moon algorithm program setting to humanity's system, protect their alliance through connection, and bring everybody into the dark ages. Okay, so that's not happening, right? So this is what I need to do to take them out of the simulation they have set up for humanity. Okay, so I'm repositioning their wires through the planet locations into the graphing location to its position. Okay, now once you come into those level divisions, you come into realm circles of location. A realm circle location is using microwaving neon electrical system. Remember, when your intelligence through formation of healing, you have to understand everything through your clock commander and systems of traveling. So it's taking the reptilian alliance, understanding their planet locations, and destroying everything through the hydraulics of its mechanism, of its energy system. Because they're in position, right? They have positions of what they want to do with humanity, right? Through their simulation. But I'm destroying their simulation and their mind system. So the receptacle level of its dimension is connected to the clock emitted systems, to their mainframes. Okay, so I'm also changing their digital frames. So they're going into proacting cycles right now through calculation. And they know that because it's only connected through the elite and nobody else. Everybody else of the governments, corporations, and the media is controlled through the elite. Now, they can't do it on their own. They do it through planets. That's how they control, right, humanity's system. You can't do it in the mind system. You have to do it through a planet location. And these planet locations are already set up through its battalion of its alliance. Okay, that's how it's all set up through its alignment, through connection, right? So we start off with this position. Now, as we come out of the positions, it's going to change the coloration path to the wire locations of the reptilian alliance through position. So it changes everything through communication of their planet locations and puts them into the light activation centers. Now, the light activation center is going into the golden realm division. This is when it comes into higher formations of angels and archangels through calculation. All right, so as we come into that, we come into the sun interference, the yellow sun that's connected to the Earth rotation, moon graphing system to that position level system, changing everything through program setting. All right, so basically this is what happens through its connection. The sun is going to come into traction location. It's going to set up a division of a dimension to a location, to a panel activation code system, to simulation path location. Okay. So as the sun rotates through division, it's going through its clock mechanism and it's changing everything through formation of planet locations. It's repositioning and releveling everybody's planet location to reptilian alliance. All right. So it's taking the planet locations out, right, and destroying their mechanism systems, right? Because every planet has their own civilization, right? So everything is operated on a planet through their computers. There's computers on planets. You guys already know that because I've taken you travels to a lot of places. We went to North Star, East and West and South just to get information of who you are through calculation, right? Who you are in position through intelligence. So you have to understand that there are intelligence that are operating on planets and they're controlling the Earth. So now you have to understand what I have to do, right? So I have to use their demise and everything through formation, get out of calculation, get into a new simulation core system, taken out of traction locations, right? And reframe everything through as astrologics and put them in at a new coloration of light to the planet location. So it's diffusing their computer operation system, okay, and it's overloading their calculation to their digital framing system because everything is a code, everything is an IPA, okay, intelligence, perception, awareness, right? So now they're aware of what just happened. Right? So now they're running, right? They're running right now. So what happens when you do these things? They run. They run and hide. That's what they do, right? So everything's coming to the light. That's what it's all about, right? So the God frequency level I'm reaching through light interference is connected to its reptilian when it comes into their program setting. So you have to understand how to reframe it and readjust and refocus and realign everything through position to their algorithm system program setting through their mainframes. Okay, so as we come into the sun portal of its communication signal, everything through planet location is going to split in division. So it's like the Big Bang Theory. Okay, when you get one atom going this way, one atom going this way, and then combust, right? And then planets come out. So all positions of planets are repositioning levels now through calculation, through computer operation system. Those position level systems changing everything through green light signals to communication, right? So every planet is now in a green location system to position. Everything is coming out of location to its position. All right, so setting everything through calculation, all plane locations are now in the light formation system. Okay, this is how you do these things through calculation to its reposition system, of its computer system. All right, so everything that's in the graphing system now is in position into light interference. Okay, so as we come into the position, now we got to set up the simulation. The simulation graph through computer board grain. Now, it's understanding where humanity is through division through the planet at its Earth location. We set the core position of the Earth in position, right? Now, I'm going into the blue cycling location. All right, so we got position level. Okay, that's the Earth. Now, it's in position right now, the simulation path. Computer operation systems coming into calculation system, 0 traction, 0 traction, 0 traction, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6. Now you have to stay applicate a level when it comes into pure activation through reptilian alliance. This is destroying mechanism system, allocate their positions to the mind control system. I'm back phrasing everything to communication. This is recognizance. This is how you take tractions out of reptilian alliance, going back into formation system. So it's all about confusing the reptilian of alliance through formation. And that's how you change planet locations into light interference. Okay, so as we come into the Earth rotation, setting up a new correlation system to the simulation path location. All right, simulation. Now, when you see this, see how real it is. Simulation. Now, as it comes in position, we use electronic interference through calculation. It goes into its own communication. Like this, to position. So at angle points, location, positions. It sets up a new energy field to position to its location. So what that does is it protects the Earth and its simulation of a new correlation system to position. Okay. Sets up its new location system. Allocate those positions, line signal everything through digital frame to its position, right? Cross-reference it. Okay. So it's an energy grid. It's going over the protection grids. It unifies, electrifies everything through satellite locations, 50,000 application system. Those satellites are coming into position now to locations of other planet locations. So it's understanding how to change the simulation path into humanity's system of 5D. Now, we're in the simulation now, fully and completely, through my pyramid and my diamond core position. The God frequency level is knowing how to change the computer operating system of its reptilian alliance. It could be the Drakios, it could be the Greys, it could be the Trots. It doesn't matter. What matters is how to take this out of position and put it into a light transmission. Okay? So as we come into the simulation, the path location and everything through Earth rotation comes into a new forming system of a new core system. Right? So, and this is all reading from Jupiter, right? This is how you set up a new simulation. So I'm just going into the environments right now through water containment system, setting new positions. Coming into calculation, modification, portal division level system, allocate those position level systems. All right, so I'm just doing a little bit more of the Earth. So it's knowing what I need to do with the Earth, right, guys? So this is how we get humanity back into traction location to its position. All right. As we come into those cycles of rotation, changes everything through position. Okay, so that's the Earth. Okay, that's the new Earth simulation. That's the 5D dimensional system of the Earth. Now, when you see it through traction, you can see how real it is. It's extremely, extremely real. So remember, you can do anything through letters, numbers, and shapes, but you have to understand the codes of SIMULATION, simulation. Now, once the simulation is set up, it's in its core system. I destroyed the computers of the operation cycle to the program system of the cloud interference. Everything is connected to wire division through location, but it's knowing how to communicate through its reptilian alliance, through its map location. Okay, so everything is set up right now through the simulation. Okay, so as we set up those positions, all right, we come in a digital frame. All right, so we come, here comes connections of Vega to communication. Vega's coming in. I need Vega because I got to change the diameters. I got to set reposition a simulation path to the program setting of humanity. And this is how Vega comes into communication, right? So this is how you reset the divisions, because Vega is extremely, extremely powerful in connections. All right, so this is Vega through communication into its position. All right, as we come into those levels. All right, so it's setting its core system right now to position. All right, so let's do this. Into calculation systems here. All right. All right. All right, so there's Vega. Now, Vega is going to go through a digital frame. The computer operation system is destroyed through the reptilian alliance. The new location of the simulation path is taking humanity into set positions. This is really interesting. It's fascinating stuff. We do this, right, through calculation of the computer. So Vega through communication is bringing the XT1000 locations out to its position. All right. So it's coming out of its position. Allocate those locations. So you have the XT1000 coming in here, XT1000 coming in here, XT1000 coming in here, XT1000 coming in here. Center core position open up this down dimensional realm, its location through its gateway division location. Okay, so the XT1000s are flying around location positions. They're setting hotspots of location positions. All right. So these are point divisions of locations that are set up to reptilian alliance, to its position. This are calculates and modifies to calculation, to reposition levels of governments, corporations, and media. Okay. So Vega is on a full communication cycle right now. Okay, we got XT1000s on hotspot locations. Now, remember I was saying I was connecting through the ground interference, but we're setting up new crop cycles to positions of all country locations. And we come out of the defiance and we come into the light. That's the most important thing, right? So it's understanding how I use my God frequency level through light activation, through my blue plasma force energy system, vortex and dime locations to connections, change all position of humanity's system back in the traction location to their computer operation system, to their mind system, to its sovereignty, through its position. All right. So this is what happens with Vega through communication. See those point centers? Now, this is extremely real. This is activating right now through cycle rotation. This is how I set up a new simulation path into the fifth dimensional system of humanity. Right? So it's all about humanity coming to freedom. Okay. So through their abundance and through their surrender. So as they're setting positions, the XT1000 is allocating through my mind system. It's allocating those positions, setting laser direction locations to positions of the Earth rotation, setting core systems and division. Okay. Into its position right now. It's going in its location system here. Allocate those positions. Coming in those locations. Yeah, the XT1000 is coming into position like this. So 5 locations. All right. So they're setting up waving patterns, locations to other planet locations, setting up light signals of division to graphing systems to position. Allocate those positions to the XT1000 location, co-frequency level of its connection. Waving cycles through its position. Light signals everything through division. Okay. So that's what's happening right now through calculation, guys. So Vega has full communication to the simulation, to its correlation system of Jupiter. Okay. So as of Jupiter, as of now, I'm setting up a new operation cycle to a rotation system, to a spacecraft, to a space station position. So understanding what's going on with the XT1000 locations, right? This is what they're doing through laser recognition system. Okay. This is how you set up a new simulation, right? To humanity's system. All right. So what do you guys think of that, eh? Tina, very cool, isn't it? Angela, how's it going? So we're coming into the simulation coordinates. It's fascinating when you do these things, right? Through the mind system, but you have to understand intelligent line signals to its position. So it's knowing how to do these things through the mind system, guys. So it's simulation coordinates, right? Everything's set up to its path and location, right? So as we're coming into this position, right? Screenshot that if you want. Now, Vega is putting digital frames right now into everybody's body system as we speak. Okay, everything is activated through code, right? So as I'm setting up the simulation, it's changing everything through formation, right? Very, very fast. It's knowing how to do these things through calculation, guys, right? Now, my team understands these things, right? But their positions don't, because they have to understand their application levels when it comes into vibration, right? Because intelligence through line signals is extremely, extremely high rise through vibration. Humanity doesn't understand that because they live the three-dimensional system, right, to its position. So, but it's fascinating when you come into these, right? Now, as we come into that, Vega is going into another calculation. It's going to connect to Venus and Pluto. Okay, does anybody know why it's connecting to Venus and Pluto? Does anybody know what Venus is? Does anybody know what Pluto is? Remember, you have to know everything through intelligence first before you know everything through planet locations, right? Through anything through calculation. So Venus is an extremely powerful planet. Okay, it often wins its cycle through the solar system, so allocates positions into higher locations of satellites. So we use Venus through calculation. We point centers, and that's why we have trees in the ground formations of Earth. We use trees for satellites. Trees connect to Venus. Venus connects to Pluto. Pluto connects to Jupiter. Jupiter connects to Earth. So everything is calculated and modified in position, right? As we come out of the fifth dimensional system of Jupiter, we come into extremely high rise in Mercury, and then we come in an extremely energy system to heat signatures of Pluto. Okay, so you guys have to understand everything through your cycles of fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension. All right. So as we come into communications, Venus, I'm going to set up the rotation center through its position. So you understand everything through calculation. Okay, so we'll go with that, right? Graphing system line communication. This is the operation center before it becomes anything through its calculation. So basically what I do is before I see the planet location, I have to understand the graphings of the switches and everything through location position, which means that everything through Vega sets up coordinates, the simulation coordinates to humanity, to repositions, and taking everything out of its realliance and everything through the reptilian division. Okay, because they have so many formations of planets, and that's how they're controlling humanity, right? So it's in position, we're locking its key to its location, right? So as it's in position, we do this. Okay. So it's truly understanding how to do these things through calculation, guys. All right. So as it's in position, it's unlocking key. And now we go from everything from Jupiter set to position. So we take Jupiter to its location position. All right. Now the planet Jupiter to its position, sets coordinates to its location. of Vega. And Vega sets its coordinates to simulation coordinate to Venus. All right, so as we go into those levels, it's really, really powerful when you see these things. Okay, so there's Jupiter. All right. Now, Jupiter is set up through its line signal, laser line systems. I'll get those positions. All right, so we go this. Okay, so that's Jupiter. All right. Now, Vega is setting up digital frame. To set up the digital frame, you have to go to the core center of the computer operation system of Vega. Okay, because they created digital number frames, right? Through body frame system. That allocates your positions. That's how you guys go through your dream set locations. So as we're coming in those positions, Vega is on a communication signal. It's setting up telegraphing, teleenergy, and telewaving systems to the graphing system of Venus. You know, Venus is an extremely powerful planet. It's connected to 3 moon surfaces of 3 locations into Lemuria. So that sets its position level system here in tau calculation. That's why I know so much about all these planets, because everything's in position, right? So as we come into those positions, we're going to change that traction location. Okay, so that's Venus. Now, Venus is in triangular division level system. Allocate those positions into Jupiter. Jupiter rising to its connection to humanity's system 5D, which is 5D conscious through vibrational system. So Vega has got to get better communication with humanity's system. The only way to do that is to change everything through the computer operation system to the mind system, right? So that's where we come into the triangle division level system. Lock and key location, right? Program setting to its location position. Now we're going to go into the graphing system of the sun interface through calculation. Right, so everything's in position right now. Sun comes in. Remember, the sun and moon always has to come in through calculation, guys. All right, so this is the sun. All right. All right, so basically everything is done in coordinates. Okay, everything's in time, frequency, through code, through mechanisms of traveling. That's what I'm saying when you guys come into space discoveries and how I showed you time zones. So I'm setting all position levels, okay, into Jupiter, into Vega, and everything through Venus, through calculation. This will set up the simulation path to division and destroy everything through a reptilian alliance on the physical system. All right, so as we come into communications of Vega, it's setting up a new digital frame to calculation. This is what comes into the wind cycling systems of dimensions, like this, to position. All right, the center core position of Jupiter is allocating its position. This is where it comes into its triangle division through pyramid activation system to position. All right, now as the sun comes into location, its center core is its position, right, to Vega, to communication. All right. And then the other side, you guys already know, it's the moon. Moon's got to come in through traction, guys. You have to know that too. Moon is everything. Moon is everything. Without the moon, you wouldn't have any behavior systems. You wouldn't know how to cry. You wouldn't know how to talk. You wouldn't know how to do anything without the moon, because it sets up your program settings, sets up your voicing grid patterns. All right. There's the moon. Now, moon's coming in through traction location. Center coordinates its position into Vega. Communication. What do we got here? Right? Peace tree, peace sign, triangle division level system. Allocate those positions and set it up my operations center through point division of my blue circling through energy field location to its position. All right. So this is where it comes in through traction location. All right. So as I'm coming in the framing system, the allocated position of the pyramid system changed everything to blue location. So it's on full rotation through my activation cycle, right? And then I bring in Lemuria. Lemuria is a really fascinating planet. As we come into those positions, we go through traction locations. So this is Lemuria, into position, into location. So Lemuria is a really fascinating planet. 75-80% is water. So it comes in dolphins and everything, the correlation systems of Mother Gaia into division to position. That's where you see Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Core, because she lives in Lemuria. She's the center core position of Lemuria, right? And then you come into Atlantis. So as it comes into position, I'm going to set core systems into Lemuria division. That's Lemuria. Now, Lemuria is on a different coloration path. Now, understanding calculation systems. I got to use graphing systems because I got so many moon location systems. So those allocated positions are 1, 2, 3 in position, triangle division of a system, allocate those position, point center. All right, so this is where it gets really complicated. So Lemuria is going through my traction location to my blue force and everything through activation light signal. It's changing everything through Jupiter, it's changing everything through Venus, and it's changing everything through Vega through communication. Everything through transformation through the sun interface is coming in everything through moon program setting. Right, so Vega is setting up new digital play communications to the mind system, the humanity system, to calculation. All right, so this is how it sets its position. Now, as Lemuria is coming into division, it activates everything to point center to position, like this. We start off with that position, right? And then we come into calculation. It comes into a box phrasing level system to a computer system. All right. As it comes into its computer system, goes in the center core position of Vega. And this is how we get communication of the digital framing system to its position. Right. Now we come into a new simulation path through correlation system to pyramid activation system to a diamond core position. So I set up my positions of the new diamond core position to its location. So it comes into the crown chakra, right? Comes into the light, comes into the heart recognition light system. To get anything out of position, to get anything into position to a better traction location, you have to understand the energy system of red. It's miracle system, anything through activation or anything through heat signature location, right? So basically I set up a new path to a new division, to a new location, to a new allocated position. Okay, we'll go into the red system here. It's planet location. As it's coming into that position, there is an image position here. In total location systems here. Allocate those positions into traction location. All right, so as it's in that position, what happens now is I set up everything through its diamond core. Okay. Now the diamond core reads its information through Vega. That's where it comes into digital frame through traction location. So it kind of looks like a wind graph to its position, right? Now that changes everything through position, okay, to calculation of Jupiter. Set the core system of dimensional round location. Set the center core positions, everything through Venus. Set the core position of level through digital frame of Vega through calculation, right? So everything is in position to new simulation of a fifth dimensional system of consciousness. All right, it's all set up. All right. So it's in position now, guys. It's all in position. Well, that's how you set up a new simulation path. Through the pyramid system, you have to understand your positions of your pyramids, and you have to understand your positions when it comes into your diamond core. How do I use my pyramid through intelligence? How do I use my diamond core? Okay, to all levels of planet locations, to its position, right? So it's all about how to take the old program out of the simulation and get into a new program of a new simulation path division. All right. It's powerful though, isn't it? When you look at it, it's extremely real, it's activated, and it's done. It's done, guys. It's done. Everything is in position now through calculation. Everything. So more deciphering, more humanity waking up more and more censorships are surfacing more and more. Traction locations, everything, positions, reframing systems, their Reptilian Alliance is falling flat, and they're losing their particle system. So it's kind of like when you come in positions of vampires, what happens, right? You can't expose them to the sun, right? They disintegrate, right? So that's why they live at night, right? They live their existence because they're in their fields at night, not during the day. The sun exposes them and they disintegrate. Well, that's what's happening with reptilian alliance right now. That's what's happening right now at this position. I did everything through planet locations. I did everything through planet locations when it came to the graphing system to allocate positions of their locations, their graphing signals, and how they were setting up humanity, okay, into the Mystical Side location, coming into the Dark Ages, right? So it's understanding how to do these things through the mind system, right? Through its computer operation system. Everything through the cloud interference, right? Full communications with Jupiter, full communications with Venus, full communications with Vega, and everything through communication when it comes to the sun, and everything through communication with the moon, or your program setting. This is how you set up a new simulation of a core to position to a new humanity of freedom. Okay? So, yeah, it's fun, isn't it? But I just wanted to show you chronological order, how you set up a simulation path, right? So, and you have to destroy things first through the reptilian alliance, right? Because it's all through a graph. That's all it is, okay? To the reptilians of its alliance, all you are, okay, is a calendar. So every day, there's 365 days, right, in a year, right? And this has been going on for eons and eons and eons. So everything that they have set up is for humanity. So once they take over the planet, then they can concentrate on the sun. Then they can concentrate on the moon, okay? And then they can reposition and globalize the whole space anomaly of time. That's what the Reptilian Alliance wanted to do. But the rebellion says no. So it's powerful. It's really, really powerful. So you guys will feel that too. You know, you feel the energy, you feel the activation, you feel the change, and you feel everything that's surfacing right now. You know, there's going to be a lot of recommended people that are in the, you know, dark. I'm not talking about the elite. The elite's been taken care of. But I'm talking about that you can't defy God no matter what you do. It's all about living your existence and how to move forward, knowing the 10 commandments. Okay? So you have to put yourself in that position. One act of random kindness. Do something nice. Okay? You were giving a life for that purpose. Okay? Not to destruct it, not to be manipulative, not to be corruptive, right? To be in the love, to be in the activation, to be in the light, to be in the positive system, to be in the dimensional set, understand more knowledge of intelligence system. Okay? So, but yeah, lots and lots of people, more people out of yesterday felt more peace and happiness and location. But this is how you set up a simulation. This is how I communicate with planets, right? And how to reposition everything through calculation, right? Because everything is integrated through modification, mass calculation. Everything starts with E equals MC squared. All right, so this goes out to the new viewers. What I just done right now into space atmospheres of time anomalies is repositioned everybody's mind system fully and completely. This will put you into better divisions on the truth, the censoring of its truth, right? The dark, anything information will be arrested, recommended. They'll be in their framing system through calculation. Some will die. And I'm not talking about the lead. I'm just talking about positions that are under the grounds of governments, corporations, media, or anything through policing divisions, right? The barrier connections, anything through like electrical field, energy bubble locations. We all start with energy pod divisions. Understanding, you know, your atmospheres and everything through its connection, right? It's the most important thing that we're coming into right now. So I just set up a whole new simulation for everybody in position of the planets and everything through its operations of its computer systems. So it's really, really fun to do these things. Seeing the change. When you see the change, you see the media change, you see the corporations change, you see the governments change. And the thing is, whatever they keep doing Okay, it's going to get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Okay, so remember, you have to stand to take your control back. And once you take your control back, you wake up, right? The transmission manifestation. It opens up everything through your cycle rotation of chakras and everything through healing, right? So, but the elite wants to stay above and take over the planet. And the only way to do that is to reset the economy, right? It's unfortunate that humanity is involved, right? So, and they don't want anything standing in the way. But I changed everything. And that's why I had to do a 2-set separation of a video for you guys. I couldn't do it all in one calculation because this is extremely, extremely powerful coming out of the mind system, guys. It's knowing how to communicate with planets of their position to their location, to their intelligence and computer operation systems, and how they're allocated to so many levels of defiance, so many electrical fields, energy fields. You have to understand how to get past the energy fields. You have to understand how to get past the security line defense, right? So everything is done through the mind, okay? So when you become the atom, you can do anything through formation. So you're like wind. That's all you are. You're wind and your energy, and you're so powerful through the gods of the light, you can go into any computer, into any planet, and you won't be detected, okay? So that's how you do these things, right? It's through the framing of the readjustments. So, I know, isn't it amazing? That's amazing. Yes, it is. Who exactly are included in the elite? Well, I think everybody knows. I think everybody knows. You know? You already know that. Okay? Setting positions on that for the elite. There's only 4. The 4 diamond core system, okay, is allocated through position. I don't know if you guys watched Jim Carrey, but when Jim Carrey woke up the very first time, he woke up through transformations because he understands Hollywood and how it's connected through Illuminati, right? So in calculation through position, you have to understand what Illuminati is, right? Taking Hollywood by storm. Okay, so basically, when you're in those positions, you understand the pyramid systems. Anything through calculation starts out with that, right? Now, you understand the gateways of Illuminati is a code frequency when it comes into all divisions to code frequencies. So it's kind of like it's a gap through connection. It opens up its cycle through position. This is what it is through calculation. All right. So as it comes into position, it's a river of a rotation, but it's a communication of the tongue, all right, in that position. So that alone is the gateway to its Illuminati, all right? So you understand the point divisions of location to its position, all right? So it's a gateway in. That's all it is. It's just a gateway to its position, all right? So it comes out of traction like this into position to its location. Everything is positioned to line communication or returning lines to its location, right? All right, so it sets up its open gate. It's a gateway, right, to position. So it sets its core system to positions. It opens up everything to traction location to its location position. Okay, and everything above it is inside receptacle division. Okay. So it's knowing how to basically destroy everything through the mechanism of point centers, 3-point division. Everything through point center, everything through intelligence, the reptilian alliance knows these things, and that's where it comes into traveling. So they know their dreams, they know their alliance, they know their spine, they know their system, they know their allocated positions, they know their dream set locations, they know their alliance, they know their speed locations. They know their marking locations. They know how to travel to positions. They understand their sentience. They're everything through formation. Okay, and that's why there's only 4 in position. Everything is being controlled from them and its planet locations above, but I've changed everything through calculation to a new point position of the simulation. All right. So, and as you know, it comes into that. You kind of see it on a US dollar bill. You see the pyramids and all that. You have to understand the codes. Okay. Everything is put up in paper, right? So you have to understand the alphabetical system, how Illuminati was taking over humanity's system, reframing, readjusting their allocated positions, and changing everything through its location of their mind system to its position, right? Like I said, realize, icon. You realize, and they're icons. You get that with Hollywood. Hollywood is really big on propagandas and stuff like that, how Illuminati was taking over them, right, through position. And that's all connected through the intelligence system of Illuminati and its planet location. Okay? So understand everything through point center. Is everything through you, true traction division. So I think you guys fully know the acceptance, the true acceptance, and why these things are happening and why it's happening now. Okay. And why everything is going to change in reposition, resurface, realign, readjust. Taking out of your old programs, coming into the new program of the simulation. Okay. I just think too that humanity has been living into the reptilian alliance of its simulation 3D. So intelligence is waiting for a certain time. So humanity has to be in a cognizant system to their position, to a graphing system. So they look at their calendar, there's 7 days in a week, and they say, okay, this is what we got to do with humanity today. This is what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay, but everything's done through the mind, through intelligence, right? So everything is in sequence. Everything's in chronological order on what they're going to do with humanity each day, right? Set this up, set that up, lock this down, right? Put this up, right? Enforce this, enforce that. Okay? So everything is in position at their time through space. Everything is done in space, but everything is destroyed in space now. I've done all of it. Now it's just humanity coming back into everything that's happening. Okay. Because all the formats and all that, and this is where you come into the fact checkers and how everything, platforms, like I said, you can't defy God. God comes back, looks at everything, says, okay, this isn't right. We got to do this again. Or what's happening? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Right? So if you're defying God, you're defying yourself. Plain and simple. And you kind of feel bad. Why did I just do that? And then you ask yourself, how can I get back into position? And this is when people pass away, loved ones are and all that, you don't want to have any regrets. Especially if you want to say something to that person before they pass away. So always put yourself in a positive system of light. Okay? And never, ever defy yourself. Okay? Because God knows everything. God sees everything. And God hears everything. Okay? And now God is back in position. Okay? God is back in position. And it's changing everything through the simulation. You guys already know that. You already know that, but this goes out to new viewers. So once you come into your divine, then you come into your life system, life cycle, life force. You come into your life force, and then you come your power, and then you come your power, then you come into your chakra. You come into your chakra, you come into your pyramid. You come into your pyramid, you come into your activation through your diamond core. And then you come into your full connection, full power, full activation of your intelligence. Okay? So you have to understand your compartments, your components that you need to reach to get to your higher levels of intelligence. Oh, you're extremely welcome. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You guys are going to see a lot more now. Everything is surfacing like you wouldn't believe, and it goes extremely fast, especially when you're a God frequency level, especially when I communicate with all planets every day, all intelligence every day. This is how you change things and put everything back in position to a new location, to a new division of a new dimension, which is 5D. Okay? So, but you're extremely welcome, Angela. If you want to go up to higher levels, let me know. I can put you in a program setting, change your algorithm systems, aptitude levels, change your dream locations. Activate everything through the core center, recognition lights, getting your transformation manifestations. You know, it's not just the everything through ascension, it's everything through you and humanity's system. So basically, when it comes down to, it's all about you and where you stand with the governments, corporations, and the media. Okay? So everything in sequence, in time, and that's what intelligence is doing right now. Okay? They want to close it in, right? So they can take over it more, right? Through calculation. So, you're extremely welcome, Tina. But I had to do that illustration, right? It was extremely powerful through connection, right? So now we're just going to see how it plays out, because everybody through humanity is in position on the earth right now. So they're giving back. They're giving back, right? And everything through its defiance of its reptilian, of its lines, is going down. Yeah, recommended, arrested. They're going to be losing their light transformations, right? This is what happens when you're in position. And when you come out of position, you lose your power of recognition, of force recognition to soul recognition. That's the intelligence. It's how to communicate through their perception, right? Yay, thumbs up. And you guys have already seen that. I've sent you so many links of what's happening right now. Everything is COVID-19. Everybody's getting into the believing of themselves, and that's what humanity has to do. Then they can get into a higher vibration of 5D, right? And then we can get into the transfusion of humanity, waking up everybody and taking down the governments, corporations, and the media, right? So, and the thing is, every time I do a video, it becomes more powerful. But you have to know how to communicate in space. And the only way to do that is through intelligence and not your physical system. And that's why it's confusing to a lot of humanity. Is because saying, wait a minute, you're telling me, Commander, that I'm an intelligent being? I say, yes, you always have been. Right? Now, I believe in the believing cycle and understand rotation through governments and corporations and media. It doesn't make any sense for them to lock down the planet, does it? Why would they do that? Because they have a plan. They have an operation, right? On their time, on their position, their location. They need to know this is what they got to do, right? Everything is a time code, right? So they get everything repositioned to that level of division. And everything through Elon Musk that he's creating through Neuralink, that's being destroyed too, through calculation. We can't have any receptacle, anything microchip in anybody's human brain system, because that will override their nerve steps to their lights, their activations, their soul recognition system, heart light systems, magnitude, their level of connection systems, and fry their brain system. That's what the Neuralink would do. Okay? Because everybody's on a different DNA through vibration. Okay? So, knowing why these things are happening, because, everything through YouTube, everything Lightworker gives you back information, with David Icke, 30 years, doing these things, setting up videos every day. Watch this, watch that, right? Be prepared that you're doing this, they're doing that. You can't do anything. They're controlling you. You can't control them, right? You can't control them because they know their intelligence. But once you wake up, you become your own intelligence, and then you can take over their system. That's the only way you can do things. through calculation, guys. All right. It's powerful, powerful message for everybody, especially for the new viewers. Getting into your intelligence, getting into your sovereignty, getting into your freedom, getting into your own control, getting into your own power, getting into your own light, getting into your own activation. Right? So, getting into your own journeys and missions. You know, I keep saying to myself, this is so real. When is this going to end, Commander? You know, well, it's ending faster and faster, but you got to understand how to communicate with planets. You have to understand how to communicate through the Reptilian Alliance, right? It's the only way you can take them down. It's the only way, right? So it's a big story. That's all it is. It's a story. It's front to cover, right? Front to back. That's all it is. You read the story. Wow, this is a powerful story, right? Everything is in position of the Bible, right? But there's a lot of misinformation with the Bible. I won't get into that because it's biblical, and there's a lot of things that are framed through systems and everything through its Illuminati. Okay, you understand actually who wrote the Bible. Okay, so we'll get into that another day, but the prophecies and everything through God Frequency Law is back in division right now, and it's here to take back humanity's system fully and completely, right? Taking out of the demise and uprising their lights into humanity, to vibration, to its unity of consciousness, right? Getting into the transmutation. Yay! It's just, you feel it. You feel the change in the weather. You feel the change in people. People are going to be more nice now. People are going to realize what's going on. They're going to whoop, wake up, right? And then they got to go through healing. They have to go through the healing because they understand their upgrading system, knowing that they've been programmed. When you're programmed at a certain level, you're being controlled at a certain level, right? Through them. Okay. So now you know how real aliens are. Okay. I don't defer us as aliens. I defer ourselves as the Galactic Federation of Light, right? The God frequency levels of demigods. Now, interaction location, I'm going to set up a new video for everybody where demigods are going to come in. Okay, we had the guardians of the earth and guardians of the galaxy universe have come in, right? They've done their job, right? They do their job and they leave. So now the demigods are coming in. They're going to change transmission and cloud interference. They're going to connect to realm locations, and they're going to destroy everything through the power centers of their dark NE4 system. That's what demigods do. So you have to really understand what's going on, you know? Everything's set in position, and that's why they come down, right? I send them, and they come down to me, right? I say, okay, Commander, what are we going to do now? You know? Okay, this is how we're going to set this up. We're going to set this up. This is what they're doing. This is what we're going to do. So remember, it's all a spiritual warfare through intelligence and not humanity. Humanity doesn't understand these things. It's understanding your full intelligence and how to take down its alliance so you can get into the rebellion. Okay, so it's exciting, isn't it? It's fascinating. I think it's just amazing how I do these things through calculation, right? Because it's all through perception and what I see through my mind system, what I hear, right? So it's connecting to all your senses, okay? You know, your audience levels, your coherence, your sightings, your GPS location signals, your GPS location gamma operation signals, everything through your ear defense mechanism signals, everything through your eye receptor location signals, everything through your diamond core protection light signals, through activation core system, everything through the mind collaboration of the thought recognition system, intelligence. I'm communicating through you, through my intelligence and not my physical system. Humans don't talk like this, guys, right? So basically, that's why you see the elite never around. They don't want to be in the population. They do everything through the mind system of space. So whatever I'm doing, they're doing, right? I'm just fixing everything and bringing everything back, right? So I see the programming in others and have much compassion for them. See, that's the thing is they're coming back into more of themselves and get out of the program settings. So it's understanding if they want to go through healing, you can ask them to come to me, and I'll reprogram their setting, put them back in position where they are through lights. And knowing that how program is how you're positioned through your life and why you can't move forward. I've been doing this for 30, 40 years and I can't move ahead. Why? Because you're programmed up there. And that's what's hard to believe, right? You can't just believe that, how was I born? Well, you're born through biological parents, but you have to understand that there's life on existence where there is past existence. So when you go beyond the mind system, you become everything through sentient. You become everything through angel, archangel, anything through defining through light, guys, anything through God, anything through demigod, okay, anything through Palladian or Palladian, okay? So that is your protection, especially when you come out of the physical into the spiritual system. Now, I keep saying that because the more you understand that the fifth dimensional system, okay, is the alliance of intelligence and no longer humanity's system. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, okay? The bad thing is what's happening with the alliance, and what they're trying to do, humanity, is to control everything, okay? So now that you know more, this will give you more of your activation, how to use your heart through its recognition of truth to its freedom. Okay, because I think everybody wants to be free of this, right? I say, I'm tired of this. Every day I wake up, the same thing is not changing. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Oh, no, this is happening, right? So, it's got to end someday, right? And that's the whole point. But when you set up a simulation, it changes everything through its alliance, right? And they can't do anything through modification. They can't. They can't. I'm too powerful. Way too powerful than them. So, and that's what God is. You can't defy love. Love is the highest formation of power, right? And it takes over everything. It takes over everything and puts everything into light, right? So as we come into Jupiter, we are in Jupiter right now. I'm setting up new, restructuring, remanufacturing, recalculation, and everything through computer operation system, humanity, get into the fifth dimensional system so I can set up a new operation cycle into the sixth dimension. Okay. So the more you guys high rise, the more I can do more through position of simulation. Okay. So, but yeah, it's being ready too. It's the most important thing is to be ready. That's what you got to look at. Yes. See the programming in others and have much compassion for them. Right. It's giving back. And again, it's better communication with everything. Better communication within. You're communicating within the system now. No longer in the physical, you're communicating with the intelligence. But the only thing that doesn't leave is your physical system. So you have to stay in your physical system, but understand the reference of the physical system and get in complete full control of your intelligence system. Because you live in the physical essence of yourself. But you have to understand the physical, mental, the psychological, and the spiritual of its intelligence. Okay? So, and that's the thing too, when everybody goes through my upgrades, is that they don't understand. And I keep saying that, well, you're not understanding because you're not communicating within your system. So your computer operation system trying to understand everything through the frames or anything, the keyboard frames or anything through the digital frame or the main frame. You have to know yourself first before you travel into space. Okay? So the congruent levels that you have to reach is very, very powerful. You communicate within your system first. That's where you get the control of power within, right? And then you get into everything through codes. And then you get everything through programs. Say, oh, great. So basically, as you become intelligence, everything becomes knowledge. And everything becomes confident of what you're doing, right? So my cyclical level system right now is allocating through line division through allocated positions. The triangle division level system to my brainwave system is on the wrong side location. So I'm going to reset position of the planet location, change the triangular division level system, shape and on the activation through its code frequency level system, change the wire locations to my hard receptacle location system. All right, energy goes in. Boom, it's healed. all through intelligence of formation, through space and time. Okay, instantly, knowledge, intelligence. And that's what we have to get into. We have to get into that, right? And that's what my galactic school provides. We get out of the A, B's, and C's, 1, 2s, and 3s. We get into the mind. We get into the mind, the psychological of the mind, not the physical, the psychological. Then you get into metaphysical, and then you get into the spiritual. You already have the physical, right? But we're in a different era now. You understand that? Spiritual, okay, is everything through intelligence. Psychological is everything through communication, okay? Metaphysical is everything through healing. And everything through physical is everything through DNA. So trying to understand through calculation is everything through electronic interference. I'm changing your receptacle level divisions into backtracks and locations to the mind system. Okay, everybody feels that now, right? Why? Because I know what I'm doing through its intelligence, right? So that's how you control things, through the mind system, because you understand space and time through its vision. That's where you come into the collective systems, right? Of E equals MC squared out of its equation. Okay. If we're not humans, what would we call ourselves? Dimensional beings. Dimensional beings, universal beings, light of activation, whatever you want to call yourself. Right? You're all divine beings of light. You just forget that. Right? When you're manipulated and you're programmed, if you're stressed and you can't move forward, you're being controlled through intelligence. They don't want you to get up to higher positions of where they are. Okay? Why do you think they set up your dreams? So you can't understand the deciphering of your dream. When you wake up, you don't understand your dream, right? But if you break that ether and you come out of that bubble, out of your energy field, or your energy pod, now you're seeing things for what they really are, of space and time. And then you realize, oh my goodness, I've been programmed, right? So the higher you go, the more they try to keep you down. They don't want you to reach conscious levels because they'll lose their power. And that's what this is all about. It's all about humanity coming back into their source, coming back to this source, their source. Okay? Look at Dolores McCannon. Take away the fear. Okay? What is God to you? Okay? What is its arrival? What is its purpose? Why is it here? Right? So you keep asking questions, but as long as you get the answers within, and the only way to get the answers within is to master yourself through communication of your inner system, which is your inner self. It's your soul recognition of you. That's who you are. Okay? Not the flesh and bone and the hair and the glasses. That's not who you are. It's what's inside you. That's who you are. So when you let that go, it breaks free everything. And then you high-rise your conscious levels to higher levels of pyramids, to activation of light. You know, you reach higher levels of intelligence than planets. Okay? Now, you're always going to intervene, interlocate, and interlock and interface with everything through intelligence, but it's understanding to get into friendship, relation, and partnership with everything through calculation. Okay? So, but yeah, you're in position, you'll know exactly when your intelligence wakes up through your higher self, you know exactly who you are because everybody's in a different DNA path, different strand, different biochemical system, microbiome, microgenetics, mycotherium, mycobaranium. Okay, there's so many different levels that we reach through intelligence, through light signals, activation, right? All connects through our body framing systems, guys. Okay? So, just going to backphrase and see if I missed anything. No. Yep, I'm all caught up. This is good. So please feel free to ask questions on anything you want to know. Now's the time to really get in position of who you are. Okay. So when you wake up, your heart opens up. Very basic when this goes out to the viewers. When your heart wakes up, you get more truth of yourself, and then you become yourself through the inner system. The inner system wakes up through soul recognition, and then you come into full intelligence signal. Okay? And then you start realizing, whoa, I've been programmed. You wake up. You're out of your ether. You're out of your energy bubble. You're out of your energy pod. Now say, okay, what do I do now? Well, you have to go to the source, right? From the beginning. Me. Right? So I can get you guys into your own source of light through divine. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about through the beginning of history, guys. And how humanity was created and why they're created for a certain purpose. To be controlled by the higher intelligence of the elite. So, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Go through my email, go through my healing, and this will understand more of yourself through your intelligence. And then you can start understanding more of your commander and what he's trying to portray, give back to community. Right? You have to know these things so you feel safe and warm and more comfortable knowing the truth. Who's going to give you the truth? Right? Light workers give you truth, but only at their balanced location. They're not a high division. Some are higher than others, but nobody is at a God frequency. Nobody. It's too much work. It's way too much work. Right? And that's why there's only elite of 4 and 1 of me. Okay? So, speaking of getting into position, can this also mean a physical move of residential space? I feel I draw to move to Sault Ste. Marie. Yeah. When you get in position, Jacqueline, when you go through my healing, I open up your frequency levels through code frequency and I put you in position. Your higher self will wake up and it will tell you exactly what to do through calculation. So it's the inner system. You hear things from your ear. So it's like a minuscule voice. It's like talking to you. So that's a higher self in you trying to get communication, and that puts you in position, right? Because when I woke up the very first time, the higher self took me here, there. I've traveled to 12, 13 places already, right? And back in Mexico. So it's the position of your intelligence puts you in this location for a purpose, to get back. Okay? So it's all about recognizing you for the very first time. Not the person you are. It's the person inside you is who you are. That's what I want to get back to everybody, so you guys can get into your own source of light. Right? So, but it will give you what you need to do. It will tell you what to do. And that's the most powerful thing when you start off with the higher self. So you go into the higher self and then you go into the avatar. You go into your computer, you go into your energy, and then you go into your atom. Okay? 5 levels of activation of light that you have to reach. Okay? And then you get into the gods. So there's a lot to do. And I've set up so many videos for everybody, right? This will position your levels where you are through your intelligence signals. So you get more information through knowledge, more calculation through travel, more definition through light, more activation through intelligence. Okay? So I hope that helps everybody. All right. Yeah, traveling is fun too, but you have to understand your positions of traveling, why you're traveling. It's not just traveling in space, because you can get lost in confusion too. That's another thing you do, go through upgrading cycles. A lot of people get confused through their dream sets and have to heal them because they're not understanding their upgrade system through intelligence. So like I said, if I keep upgrading you and you're not understanding, then you're not understanding your system through in. Okay, you're still in your physical system. You can't think in the physical system. Intelligence doesn't understand your physical system. Okay, until you understand the intelligence within, then the physical system understands its balance of its intelligence. That's yin and yang, guys. All right. It's extremely powerful, Angela. I'm giving them the truth on what you guys really need to know and how to get into position, all these things. Yeah. But it's your higher self that'll help you out. It will tell you exactly. It'll tell you exactly. It puts you in a dietary system, what to eat, what not to eat. You get into scanning, electronic interference, get into, ethical levels when it comes into communication. You lose a lot of friends, but then you gain a lot of friends, right? Because they're at a lower level than you. You're going to a higher level of intelligence. You're trying to understand more of yourself within, okay? Not the person that you're seeing without. It's the person that's inside you. It's your soul recognition. You have to defy yourself with that through its relation first. And then you get balanced with your physical system. So intelligence, once you bring it out, the higher self has to get communication with you because you're in the physical system. And that's where it becomes its base of its pyramid to its diamond core, to its position. Okay? And that's where you come into the healing through gravity systems, Mother Earth, powers, and then the adversaries. And then you get connection to Father Space through connections. All right? So, but I'm going to leave it there. We're going to get into the demigods tomorrow. We'll go into more cloud interference and why they're here on the Earth and what they're going to do next. Okay? So this is your IA Commander for Universal Quadrants 1 and 2, 3 and 4 from the Colossus Student Divisions. Adios. Have a great day, everybody.